if we possibly leave as a cliffhanger. In a lot of our recent discussions, we talked about learning and evolving into better understanding like financial
Yeah.
acumen and discipline, shit like that. And one thing we realized, one of our differences in approaches to whether it's current finances or even past situations is you're typically more of like a projector, and I'm kind of like an assessor in real
100%.
time, whatever. So I thought we could talk a little about that, but how we deal with real time adjustments to involve income or money, or even trying to look forward. So how,
Yeah.
in regards to projecting, what does that mean to you?
I actually been I've been using you as my accountability lately. I'll call you, but the other part would just be me bringing it back to real time, like, cause I'm so much of a projector, like it hasn't happened, and I'd be like, yeah, but this is what this trajectory. So what I have to realize as a projector is the trajectory has to match the projections. Like anything is possible, but what's the probability, right? So I can pull out my calculator right now and make up a million ways to make $1 million. But if it's no trajectory and none of the things I'm doing, then I'm just projecting for nothing.
Right.
But the real time is, okay, even in the trajectory of it, I still have to be able to understand where I'm actually at right now. So like I said, I've been leaning on that. But me being a projector is giving me the motivation to know what's possible. So I think what we differ is because you worked in multiple jobs and I never had a job, I've only ever had to project. I never had a guaranteed check to say, all right, let me assess this 1,000 that's coming every 2 weeks, or this 2,000 that's coming every 2 weeks, or this 5,000 that's coming every 2 weeks. Whether you're working for 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours an hour, $50 an hour, I never had that. So I always had to say, all right, if I get 3 clients, I can make this amount. If I get 5 clients, I can make this amount. Then I got to go out and get the clients. So my projections come from, that's the only way I get money as a business owner, is to project what I could do given certain input, right? And it's like, you don't always hit those numbers, but you project what they could be. Where it becomes toxic is when you project the spending. You follow what I'm saying? And that's where you got me at, because I was projecting to spend more money based on what I projectedly could make. And that's what I assessed and was like, all right, let me stop projected spending unless it's to invest versus projecting to make. Because you can project to make all you want, but when you start spending the money you ain't made yet, that's where the delusion kicks in.
Playing catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And like I said, I went from a place of, I've always been kind of like, again, I give credit to my parents. I had both extremes. My mom, she's a spender. She's going to spend it before she got it, when she get it again, and spend it again type shit. And my dad, he's a very pragmatic person with everything. And he's found a way to really figure out life and got that shit on a string. Like, he got this shit together. And so I feel I found myself always trying to make sure, like, all right, cool. I understand my mom, she's a person that makes sure everything is dealt with, but to possibly scale it, that isn't necessarily her strong suits, whatever. So even when I made less money, I was like, all right, cool. I understood I had certain patterns already just from my conditioning and environments that, like, if I don't fix these in real time, whether they projected or not, I'm always going to be playing catch. I'm always going to be in debt. I'm always going to be having shit that's not paid off fully and shit like that, whatever. So once I started making more money, I realized I had to fix those habits to finally get ahead of shit. I feel that's what most people's problems are. You never get ahead of your own habits.
That's a fact.
Your own debts, your own shit you forgot to pay off, shit like that.
Or the shit you just don't respect. Certain bills, I just don't respect it. It's not going to get me evicted. It's not going to get my car took. Fuck that bill. Like, certain shit.
Credit.
Yeah. So that's to your point.
Yeah. So, I feel now is like, even before I spend more, like, let's get there first, reassess and see what can we afford to invest more so something can come back. And then, all right, cool, we got some shit in the green, spend that, whatever. We definitely believe in treating ourselves.
And now I've adopted a part of that, where it's like, I make sure I handle my responsibilities before I start projectedly spending, because I want to spend it from a place of having it. Because I noticed, like, we was laughing about my gross versus my net when we was on our way here, and I'm like, you look at the gross, you're like, that boy made some money. You look at the net, you laugh like, oh, that nigga spent some money too. He can make some money, but that boy can spend.
He good.
So, just wanting to better myself in that regard and just be more financially responsible to be able to properly head a household. Because like you said something about you can't surpass your own habit. Whatever you just said that I felt like was dope. Like, it's like, to even want to go back to talking about these titles, you want to be the man of the house, but you don't handle yourself like a man. And it's like, I want to be steadfast in all of the things that I need to do as a man, so that when I'm the man of the house, I'm not really worried about being questioned, because the evidence is in my performance. You know what I mean? And it's like, that don't mean that I'm already wasn't doing that, because I was, but that don't mean it can't be refined.
Exactly.
Like, and that's what it's about. Like, to say that I'm working on it don't mean that it ain't already present, but that don't mean that it can't get better. And just because you are good at something don't mean you can't get better at it. And I think that people
Even if
settling
it's
for being good.